Hey, this is Joe. So I'm taking a little break from my mechanical projects today because I'm rearranging my garage. And one of the things that I wanted to fix is my floor tiles. These are the snap-in Nitro tiles. And a couple of them, because when I first I installed them during the fall. It was colder outside, and since it's summer, all of the tiles are expanding and they're actually pushing up against the wall, so they're starting to separate from each other. So I'm just gonna make some cuts on the tiles today so that they fit a little bit better. So hopefully this is helpful. Enjoy. So you can get a close-up of the tiles. I really love these tiles. I've had them installed for probably 4 years at this point. So the reason I went with these tiles is I needed something that was going to be easy to clean. If I dropped something, it would make it easy to find. I needed something that would support me working with jack stands. So these do allow me to do that. And these are the Nitro tiles with the coin design. I really like this design. I like the colors. I didn't want to go with anything too light because obviously you can see it gets dirty, but I went with the dark gray and the black. So over here, you can see this was the end that I had started from. Some of these tiles are coming up because they've expanded and they've pushed towards the ends. So there's probably 3 tiles that I need to cut so that these can fit a little bit better, and then I'll use a mallet to hammer them down. So I'm going to use an angle grinder to cut these down. It's just pretty quick to do. I don't need these to be perfect around the edge of the garage. I just want to make sure that they all sit flat, and I don't want any gaps between them, because if I do spill something like oil on them, I want it to be easy to clean. And what's also nice about these tiles, if you do damage one of the tiles, or you get stains and things on them, you can replace them pretty easily. Something else that's nice about these tiles is they do interlock, so it prevents them from moving around too much, obviously within reason, you can see here, but it allows you to pretty easily pull them out. So I'll use my angle grinder to cut down probably 1/4 to 1/2 of each one of these coins, and then I think that will fit really nicely, and I don't think I'll have to worry about expansion once I do this. I haven't adjusted since I've laid this floor down, so it's just a couple of these edges that are affected by the temperature change. So I'm just gonna sit my tile up here. I've got something with a little bit of weight on it just to hold it in place. If I had a table, I could do this outside because it does get a little messy. I've got a trash can sitting under here. That'll help only a little bit. So I'm gonna be using my shield to protect my eyes. I'll be using my earmuffs because the angle grinder is loud. Does get a little hot, so make sure not to touch that with your finger right after you cut it. So the edge is not perfect, but that's all I need since it's going up against the wall. So what's also fun is I have a bird that just flew into my garage. It's probably confused on how to get out. So hopefully it figures it out soon. Okay, so I'm going to take the tile. I will lay it under this one. I will fit these in. And once these are all lined up, I'll hammer it in. Does look like a couple of these can be moved a little bit. In order to close this gap right here, I just hit the tiles from that side. And that allows this to sit down really nicely. There we go. And that should work really well. So you can see, closes off really nicely at the seams. So now I need to make a couple more cuts on these. So place this black one down. Same thing as before. Line it up. I'll pull this tile out since this is the next one I need to cut. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll hit from there again and see if I can push some of these over. There we go, that worked. So I just had to pull a tile out, and then I was able to hit this one with a hammer, and that allowed me to close that gap. Hey, that all looks great. That tile looks all right. So it's just this one. So just make sure I'm cutting the correct edge. Latches in here and here, so it snaps in here and here. And I gotta cut down there. Make sure that you keep the angle grinder moving because this is like a rubber plastic. You let it sit too long, you are going to start to burn and melt it. So just run through it pretty quick. And then we'll get in this last tile. I'll get in this right edge first. This bottom edge. All right, we're in good shape. So last piece, just to get this in. And this last tile. Those are in. Those look like there's a little gap. These. Pull these over just a little bit. See if I can get all of these to line up. All right, so now I can just sweep this and I'll be ready to reuse the floor. All right, we're done the flooring project. Thanks for watching.